It's the Go Gopher Podcast with Mike Grimm, episode number 190. I am Mike Grimm, voice of the Golden Gophers, and welcome back to the podcast. We're talking football this week, and I'm really excited to hear from our two guests. Gopher tight end Jameson Geers makes a return to the show this week, and he's bringing with him his fellow tight end Drew Biber. Both had key roles in last week's Big Ten opening win over Rutgers, that final 31-28 in Minneapolis. This week, a tough challenge at number 1 and defending national champion Ohio State. We'll get the inside scoop on how game prep is going with that one and what these guys expect in Columbus, and we'll take a look back at the big win over the Scarlet Knights. Our Go Gopher podcast is presented by alumni-owned Sunbelt Business Advisors and True North Mergers and Acquisitions. If you're a business founder planning to exit your business, start by contacting Sunbelt Business Advisors and True North Mergers and Acquisitions. Sunbelt serves more businesses up to $5 million in revenue than anyone, and True North M&A serves companies with revenues up to $150 million. Get a confidential, no-cost, no-obligation business valuation started today. Hey, make the most of your life's work. Visit sunbeltminnesota.com or tnma.com today. And longtime Gopher sports supporter Cub is a proud supporter of the Go Gopher podcast. In a hurry? Don't worry, Cub delivers. Get fresh meat, produce, everyday essentials, and more delivered to your door. Cub is the official grocer of the Golden Gophers and proud to support Gopher athletics for over 20 years. Shop happy. The Go Gopher podcast also presented by OnX Maps. Find out how to download the OnX Fish app for free by listening to the Go Gopher podcast. We're podcasting episode 190 from the Aquarius Home Services studio. Also, our thanks to Affinity Plus for providing gift cards to our guests this week, Drew Biber and Jameson Geers. Affinity Plus, proud to support Gopher student athletes. We invite you to subscribe to the Go Gopher podcast. It's free to do so. You can go back and have a listen to the Go Gopher podcast from previous weeks. Last week, for example, we spoke with Gopher women's hockey coach Brad Frost. His team opened the season a week ago, and they whipped Boston College in a pair of games. Still a lot of good stuff in that podcast, so go back and have a listen. This week, it's Golden Gopher football on the topic. The tight end tandem of Jameson Geers and Drew Biber will join me next.
I'm Clay Geary, walk-on turned scholarship wide receiver for Gopher football.
And I'm Ben Utek, U of M alumni, Super Bowl champion, and Tony Dungy Uncommon Award winner.
We understand championship culture, which is why we're part of the True North family of companies.
True North invests in only elite teams, like the champion team at Sunbelt Business Advisors, Minnesota's largest seller of companies. To learn more about True North and our diverse family of independently owned companies, visit TrueNorthEquityPartners.com.
Know what the happiest bird is? Chicken. Cub fried chicken. Wait, let me rephrase that. Know what bird makes people happiest? Cub fried chicken. Crispy, crunchy, juicy, perfectly seasoned. It's the kind of chicken that disappears faster than you can say, 8-piece, please. Or, let's be real, maybe 12-piece. Because when it comes to fried chicken, more just means more happy. So if you're shopping chicken, shop Cub fried chicken and shop happy.
It's episode 190. We are talking with a couple of Golden Gopher tight ends. Jameson Geers is making a return trip to the Go Gopher podcast. I think it was a bowl game we chatted with you, right?
Yeah.
I'm already forgetting where that was. Where did we go?
Charlotte.
Charlotte, thank you. Yes, it was Charlotte. We saw the head coach get dumped with mayonnaise when that was all done. The Duke's Mayo Bowl. You and I chatted in one of the hotel conference rooms, I think, to tape that podcast.
Yep.
And so Jameson Geers, a senior, and another senior, but in his first year at the program, and another tight end is Drew Biber, transfer from Purdue, Cedarburg, Wisconsin. Welcome to the podcast. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Well, did you guys have any fun last week in the Big Ten opener? All of a sudden it was 14-0. Everyone's going, what's going on? You guys might have even been going, what's going on? Jameson, obviously the long pass play, it seems, to your teammate Jalen Smith kind of flipped the switch, and game was on, and it was entertaining to watch. I don't know how you guys felt, but nice win to get for sure.
Yeah, it was cool. Obviously the first couple of possessions, we weren't really able to do much with it. But we just kept on like, hey, stay aggressive. It's going to come. And then went out there, and I think it was the first play of the drive.
Yeah.
I took a shot, and, Jalen, he's an explosive receiver. So, he made a great play, and makes it easy, when you go down there, and then a few plays later, you're in the end zone.
Yeah.
It's really cool to watch. I think I saw it was like one of the longest one of the.
I think it's the longest pass play, excuse me, in stadium history. Years ago, the Ohio State quarterback had a long run that was like 80 some yards, but that was the longest pass play, I think, in stadium history, for sure, by the Gophers. So pretty cool. If not for the little the cheaters, the little horse collar there, I think he probably scores, but that slowed him up enough, and no flag, of course, but Ejeboy gets the touchdown, and all of a sudden you guys have cut it to the lead in half, and then your teammate Kerry Brown gets the pick, and next thing you know, Lemecki's got the touchdown, and then the game is on. Yeah. It was important too, right? Just in terms of how the season is unfolding, and you're coming off the bye week, and you don't want to stack losses if you want to end up where you want to be. So, Drew, how important do you think the win was, just to get kind of the sour taste of a loss out of your mouth, sitting on that for a couple of weeks, and also just the importance of a Big Ten game?
Yeah, exactly what you said. It was definitely tough going to California and not leaving there with a win, and then having a bye week. We had a sour taste in our mouth for about 2 weeks. So Big Ten play is really big. We were 0-0 going into that game in the Big Ten, and then coming out with a win was really big. Just starting the season off 1-0 in the Big Ten.
And you've at Purdue and now here have been through the rigors of the Big Ten. It's hard to win games. It's hard to win on the road. It's hard to win at home. So anytime you can get a win and then I thought play really well. I'm going to ask you guys specifically about a couple of those drives in the second half that were key and really fun to watch. But you've been around the block in the Big Ten. It's hard to win games in the league, and so any win is a good win, right?
Correct. Yeah, the Big Ten it's hard to win games. It seems like every game's a one-possession game at the end of the game. So just coming out with a win is really, really big.
Your quarterback, Drake Lindsey, was freshman of the week in the Big Ten, guys, and he included you. Both of you guys had key catches on some key points, third down conversions, all this stuff. And we're going to get into that specific here in a little bit, but I want to ask you generally about your quarterback and Jameson. You've been around, you've seen some quarterbacks come through here. Max last year, of course, by osmosis, it seems, was training Drake for that moment and that game, and now we'll look ahead again. But what can you say about your young quarterback?
Man, he's a stud. He doesn't really care, how old he is or how much experience he has. He trusts all of us, like all the skill guys and all the the offensive line. He's great at commanding the offense, and he's a great leader. And yeah, he really orchestrates like how we do things, and he runs quite a different offense than like what I was introduced to when I first got here. There's a lot of moving parts and things that, could get difficult for some guys. And, he plays the hardest position on the field, and he does it really well. He makes our job very easy. So we love him. He has a lot of confidence in us and a lot of trust in us, which we built, the past year and a half. So it's really cool to see him go out and perform like he has the past couple of weeks. And, I'm proud of him.
He came in as an early enrollee, not this past January, but the January before. And I remember watching one of the first couple of spring practices. Max was there, of course, and Max at that point, PJ just said Max is the starter. This year he was holding off on Max. I mean, we all kind of knew he'd be the starter, but he wasn't going to make it official until a little closer into fall camp. But at the time Drake got here, hey, you're going to redshirt probably, and Max is the guy. That's what we brought Max in for. But I remember the first or second practice watching the guy, and I'm like, he was wearing number 3 then, but I'm like, number 3 looks pretty good to me. I know something about football. I'm not a genius, but I think that kid could be pretty good. What did you see from the day he stepped on campus? Obviously, you still progress. He's been here now, going on almost his second year as we head to that next January. But what did you see when he showed up? Did you get the idea that, this kid has something special?
Yeah, absolutely. Just when you're a quarterback, like, when you first get here, sometimes it could be different, with the type of playbook that we have, and just being able to develop into like a quarterback in the Big Ten is definitely a challenge for young guys, and it's a challenge for every position, but definitely quarterback. Just being able to like diagnose the coverages and alerts and checks, and making sure that you have all the motions and shifts and everything like that. Like, you're dialed in every single play, and it changes quite often. So when I first saw Drake and his work ethic, and he was just being a sponge with Max. I could tell instantly that he was going to be a great quarterback. And obviously he had the raw tangibles, and he could spin it down the field. And yeah, it was cool to watch last year. But I mean, he's made some great jumps, and he's gotten a lot better. And now I feel like he's just gonna keep getting better throughout the next couple weeks of the season, and then he has a super bright future in front of him.
And Drew, you came in kind of in the middle of that. You came in in January of this past year.
Correct.
So
Yep.
he had been here a year, hadn't been a starter yet. So what did you see when you first got here as you started catching passes from him?
I remember telling him, I think it was either like a week or two after I just got here, and we were just kind of running routes, just like getting that chemistry going. And I was like, for his age, it's just crazy, like the things that he can do. And I even told him that, I'm like, I feel like you're like 22 or 23, just like I am. Like even just with his leadership ability, like before practice or any time like we're around each other, he's always getting the energy up with our tight ends, O-line, running backs, receivers. But yeah, he's an amazing guy all around. The one thing about his game that's really good is the accuracy, like just where he throws the ball and like reading the defense is just amazing. And like I said, at his age, it's crazy what he can do, and I'm just really blessed to be a part of a team with a quarterback like him.
Yeah, and like we said, we've all agreed when you first see him, you're like, okay, this kid's going to be good. But I think even within already the first 4 games, what we saw from him this past Saturday looked to me like it was a step ahead of what we saw from him at Cal. He was good at Cal, but it looked like he took another step to me after getting that first road experience under his belt. What do you think, Jameson?
Yeah, and I think that's something that we really preface as an offense is getting better every single week. Like that's our goal as an offense. Obviously, not everything is going to be perfect on game day. There's 11 dudes on the defense that want to kill the guy with the ball. So, things. It's an imperfect. It's an imperfect game. So, I mean, I feel like every single week there's things to build and learn from, and I think that, as an offense we do a good job of, looking back at the film and focusing on what we need to do to get better at some certain things, and then we go out there and practice and apply what we've learned, and we actually go through the process and the work again, and that's our goal as an offense, just get better every week.
Over the years, I've been here a long time now. I'm getting old, fellows, but I remember lots of good drives over the years, even predating PJ Fleck. So I've been here 20 years. I thought that first drive of the third quarter, the way he just and then I rewatched it on TV, the TV broadcast, where you see kind of more up close the hand signals and the patting of the helmet, and I don't know what they all mean. You guys clearly do. I thought that was one of the most impressive drives I've seen for a young guy, just to have the command he did. Clearly he was comfortable in the tempo. Drew, what did you see from that to come out? You're down 7, you need a drive. Apparently the coaches said at halftime, we're going to put it in the quarterback's hands, and it paid off.
Yeah, kind of like Jameson said earlier, how we were wanting to be really aggressive after those first couple of drives, and especially that one, I thought we were really aggressive with the tempo being really fast and Drake commanding the whole thing, and it paid off for us, and we scored pretty fast, and we just kept using that to go forward with the game, and it definitely helped out.
He was in such command. Is it as hectic as it looks when you guys are running that tempo? I mean, he's got the hand signals. You almost know what's going on there. But for the average, whether it's the radio guy watching or just a fan in the stands or a guy at home on his couch watching on TV, it looks pretty hectic. But there must be a controlled pattern to it without giving out, I suppose, too much info.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of urgency, but not frantic. It may look like it, but we're just communicating really loudly and intentfully. So we're echoing the signals or echoing some communication of what we're doing, and then we get lined up quickly. We're just being urgent, and I think that sometimes when we practice things like that, we're able to get into. We're able to get the defense on their heels sometimes, or simplify the defense at times. So I think that when you're able to do it, and you can communicate really well, and everyone knows, everyone's aligned and able to get what they need, get lined up, and snap the ball. At sometimes, it'll get you to be able to, maybe drive down the field a little quicker.
Well, like you guys actually did. And then the other thing, I suppose, I think even Drake, as we tape here on this Wednesday, mentioned in his news conference, one of the things about up-tempo is you can catch a team defensively where they can't sub, and if there's an advantage or they're not in the right package to stop a particular set or passing, and he thought maybe that happened in that there was no chance for them to sub, and he was able to strike. So did you guys sense that too? And then you run 6 or 7 straight plays, that defense without subbing is going to get tired, I suppose.
Yeah, I definitely did notice that. I think after like the third or fourth play, getting set right before the ball was snapped, just looking at like the D-line's face, like it even took them a while just getting their stance, and I'm like, yeah, this tempo right now is definitely helping us out for sure.
Yeah, and then you get, I suppose, a sense of confidence. You've got the quarterback that has the hot hand, and you've got a defense that's kind of sitting, trying to catch their breath, huffing and puffing a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Then they come back and take the lead. So you guys get the touchdown to tie it, the field goal to go ahead. They bounce one into the end zone for a touchdown. Ethan got he had some hellaciously good throws in that game, and then he had a couple that I'm sure he'd like to have back. And at the end of the day, it was Lindsey who gets the win, but he had a nice enough drive there to put them up. And so now you guys are behind, and I thought that was another really nice drive just down the field. There was some tempo, and then it slowed down once hey, we got to milk the clock here a little. You don't want to leave them with much. You guys, in fact, both those drives, you guys each had key catches in it. I think your catch, Jameson, was that? Did that make it 1st and goal maybe on that last drive?
I think so. It was like a 3rd and 8 or 9 or something like that. But we converted it down like the 15 or 10 or 11.
Yeah, so maybe it wasn't quite 1st and goal, but it was getting into the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So as tight ends, clearly Drake is comfortable throwing to the tight ends. The offense is kind of calling for that. So we'll start with you, Jameson. How and again, without getting into too many details in terms of, I don't know how many plays, there's a possibility whether you're in the huddle or not, you guys got to be ready to catch the pass, right? So take me through what the attitude is coming out and getting up to the line of scrimmage, knowing that there's a pass play likely coming.
Yeah, it was cool. Like on that 3rd down, Drake was like, "Hey, be ready for this one." And like as a route runner, your mentality should always be like, "Hey, I'm gonna get the ball here," and you can adjust or whatever if you don't get the ball and go block or go chase the ball or whatever. But right there, obviously, it was a big point in the game, and I'm like, "Well, yeah, I'm ready to go." And it was cool. Like you kind of live for those moments. It feels good to be a part of it. But like I love seeing a bunch of guys get catches. Like I love to see Drew. I love Javon. I love to see Lemecki get in the end zone. But it is a lot of fun, being out there with your guys. And when you have a QB like Drake and he spreads the ball around, like any plays could be yours.
Yeah.
And so that just gives me a lot of confidence and to run my route like I'm gonna get the ball every play. Because Drake will find you, you know what I mean?
Especially if he says ahead of time, be ready, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And
a little extra special there.
And you just know, like, hey, this guy has full confidence in, the scheme and the guys running the routes. And I thought our O-line protected, their butts off. And I feel like they did a really good job in helping us get down the field. And yeah, it was really cool. And it was, I was really proud of Drake and those guys that come in and fight like that for some of their first Big Ten game.
And he drives it down. You get the catch. You had a catch, Drew, earlier in the drive as well. And then Javon reaches over, breaks the team rule, reaching for the touchdown, which we talked with PJ about it on his coach's show Tuesday. Drew, have you been on a team where that's been a rule before, where you don't reach at the goal line?
Yeah, I have, but it's definitely in this program, it's definitely made like a lot more. What's the word I'm thinking of?
It's a big emphasis.
There it is. Yeah, it's definitely more emphasized here for sure. So I remember after that play when Javon scored, I was on the other end of the end zone. I ran up to him. I grabbed his helmet. I'm like, you better hope this is a touchdown.
Yeah, because so for those that didn't hear the coach's show or don't know what we're talking about, PJ's rule, and he's got the sayings for everything. You guys probably know exactly what the saying is, but it's got to be like do or die if you're going to reach near the goal line, because if you fumble into the end zone, or oftentimes we see this where you fumble and it goes out of bounds in the end zone because you're reaching, you lose the ball. It's not like, hey, we're putting it where you fumbled it back at the 1 or the 2, you lose it. And so his idea is better to have the ball 2nd and 1 than let them have it 1st and 10 at the 20. But Javon knew his reach, I guess, and decided that he better try to get the touchdown. And I would say it was close to do or die. It wasn't 4th down. It was like there's certain instances. I'll put Drew on the spot here. The instances are what, like fourth and do or die at the end of a game, like 4th and whatever in the first quarter. You're not supposed to reach, right?
Yeah. I would like. Usually in the situation, it's like if you have to get the first down, you can reach it. If you have to get the score, if you have to get in the end zone, you can reach it. 2-point plays, and like if coach will say, but
that's what coach said on Tuesday's coach's show. He goes, and then at the end, I reserve the right to tell them they can do it.
Right.
If you're the boss and it becomes a certain situation. Well, anyway, luckily, Drew, as you said, you better hope he was in. He was. It was reviewed. It was pretty close. He got in. I think that there was a note. It sounded like PJ said on the coach's show that there was a notation in part of the team meeting, whenever that was Sunday or whatever, that, hey, just so we know, we love the touchdown, we love your competitiveness, but we want to live another day there too. But the bottom line is, it was a beautiful drive. It finished. You guys go up, and now you got to sweat it out a little bit. So when they're lining up to try to send it to overtime on a 56-yard field goal, Drew, where are you on the sideline? Who you standing around, and what was your reaction as it was all unfolding?
It's actually really funny you said that, because I haven't been in a situation like that since November 25th of 2023.
You've got it down to the day.
Yeah, I went back and checked it. Because I was like, first of all, when's the last time I won a Big Ten game? And I had to go back 2 years. And it was a pretty close one against Indiana. But, yeah, going back to your question, a little bit before like the field goal, I was even talking to Jameson and Jack Desano and some of the other tight ends. I'm like, I can't feel my heart right now. Like, my heart's literally beating out of my chest. Like, this is the craziest amount of adrenaline. Like, it's just wild. But then I also had to get my mindset right. Like, if he makes this field goal, you got to go back out there and play and go into overtime, right? But I kind of worked my way down towards the end of the sideline, away from everybody, and just took a deep breath and was like, all right, I really hope he misses it. But at the same time, I got to get my mindset right and just get refocused so that if we go into overtime, I'm ready. But yeah, I just was kind of standing by myself. And at first it looked like it went in. So I was I had my helmet on, I was starting to strap my helmet because I'm we're going into overtime. But then I saw the ref say that he missed it, and I went crazy.
Yeah, I wasn't sure either on the call. The only thing I knew was the crowd behind they were all raising their fists. So I'm like, that's a good sign. And then finally the ref was late, eventually signaling, but it did. It just drifts right a little bit. I wasn't going to go down this angle, but you brought it up, so I want to ask you about that, because at Purdue there was a stretch of games where you guys didn't win many Big Ten games toward the end of your career, right? Your stint there. Well, what'd you say, November of 23?
November 25th of 2023.
Of 2023, so all of last season in essence. So what you mentioned, the heart was beating, and everything else, and was it just a good feeling then when that thing drifted right?
Yeah, it was the best feeling ever. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just you kind of just black out, and you're just so excited. I was jumping and giving high fives to all my teammates, and you just kind of when I was able to take a deep breath, I'm wow, all that hard work and just being in a new program and just going back to even just winter workouts and summer workouts, and we've just put in so much sweat and tears, and it's paying off, and it felt really good.
Yeah, so. and also impactful. You had some catches in it. You had some blocks in it. I mean, to also be a contributing factor had to make it put icing on the cake, I suppose.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely felt good to have a small impact in a win like that.
I do think you brought up the idea of all the work you guys put into it. I think sometimes people forget all the work that goes into it. You guys are living and dying. I know fans get disappointed if things don't necessarily go right. I talked to Derek LeCaptain a few weeks ago on the podcast about this. You're a senior citizen on roster, 7-year guy. about the idea, like some people still want to kind of tease PJ for doing the body surf thing, right? The crowd surf with you guys, like, you only beat Northwestern State. Why are you doing a body surf? And I'm like, because you don't understand the amount of work you put in. If you don't enjoy the win, right? I mean, ultimately, that's what you guys have is 13, hopefully 12 for sure, 13 opportunities to get the win. It really shouldn't matter who it's against, in my opinion, with all the work you put in, because losing's no fun. So you got to have some fun and celebrate, no matter who you beat, no matter what circumstance. And you guys, it seems, Jameson, you've been around to be part of many of those now. Enjoy that part of it. I mean, it's not every head coach that's going to take part in something like that. I think it's awesome, but for some reason, some people want to rain on somebody's parade. But I'm glad you guys do it.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, like fans definitely have, they definitely have an opinion to say about everything, but we just love to look at every game as like a 1-0 championship season, and like only that game matters. So when you're able to get those wins, like you never know what, especially with now how the postseason works and bowl games and everything, you never know how like someone like a win week 4 or week 3, or you never really know how that can impact the rest of your season.
Right.
So I think as a culture and as a team, like it's like a lesson for life too. Like when good things happen, you have to take time to celebrate it, and then boom, you're right back to work. As soon as the sun comes up the next day, you're back to work.
Game on, right?
Yeah. You got to make sure your celebration doesn't turn into complacency. Almost as boom, like let's celebrate, tell everyone, give the credit where credit's due, and then boom, put your leather vest on. Look at what you need to do better, and then get back to work.
And roll on, which will be Ohio State, which we'll talk about in a second. So, Drew, you're new to the program, relatively new. Were you aware of the tradition of PJ jumping into you guys in the locker room after a win, or what was when you? I guess it would have been Buffalo the first time you saw it. What did you think?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really know what to expect. I just remember after Buffalo, some of the guys were like, "Hey, like get ready," and I'm like, "What do you mean get ready?" Like, and we were all like kind of like surrounding each other, and then. Like a couple of minutes later, Coach Fleck runs in and we're all like pushing him and stuff, and it's definitely it's a nice tradition for sure, and it was something that I wasn't used to, but it's just like in that moment, it's like kind of what Jameson was saying, like that preparation we just did really paid off, but then at the end of the day, it's almost like a 24-hour rule. Enjoy it for 24 hours, and then you got to move on to your next opponent.
Yeah, and you probably have as good a perspective. I mean, again, not to bring it up, but you go 0-9 in the Big Ten. You're going to enjoy every win you get, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
That's a new perspective. Like Ohio State, who you guys are playing this week, they expect to win. They win a lot, all that stuff. You didn't have great luck last year at Purdue, Minnesota. Anytime they win, we're going to celebrate that win. So it's I just like it. I think that with all the work you guys pour into it, I don't know if people really always understand that. So I enjoy seeing that. Let me read a quick note here about one of our sponsors, and we'll get back to talking to our two guests here. We're talking tight end football here, Jameson Geers and Drew Biber, episode 190. Summer is winding down, and that means you've got a late little bit of chance to get on your boat, get out on the water, and when you do, let the Onyx Fish app help you find the next best fishing bite. The Fish app offers the most comprehensive fishing tool for increasing your success. You can use the Fish app to find new places to fish, sort by lake, species, abundance, trophy, and keeper potential. Onyx Fish also shows you hot spots, lake by lake regulations, and make that private and public land ownership info. Download Onyx Fish on the App Store or go to onyxmaps.com/fish to get more information about the app that's changing the game on the water. You guys fish? Hunt? You guys outdoorsmen?
A little fishing. Since I came to Minnesota, I've been ice fishing a couple times.
Yeah, very
fun.
good. How about you?
I haven't been fishing in a while, but I would definitely love to get out on one of these lakes in Minnesota and go fishing.
There are a few lakes out there, that's for sure. You're a Wisconsin guy. Cedarburg's what, Milwaukee area close?
Yep, just like 15 miles north of Milwaukee.
Gotcha. Let's talk about your trek through college football and how it all started. You go to Purdue out of high school. You're there. And how do you end up then ultimately here in the Twin Cities for your final season?
Well, going back to even high school, I was between basketball and football, but I thought I had a better opportunity in football. So I ended up actually committing to NIU in high school.
PJ Fleck's school?
Yeah, it was actually during COVID. But it just, after like 3 months, it just didn't really feel right. So I ended up decommitting, and then Purdue ended up coming in pretty late. So I committed there during my senior year. And then once I got to Purdue, I redshirted my first year. And then my second year, I just played a little bit of special teams, wasn't really strong enough, and just not ready like tight end wise to play in the Big Ten. And then I was really excited my third year because I felt like I was making a really big jump from my sophomore year to my junior year, but I was dealing with injuries the whole year, and it was definitely a tough year. And then I was like, well, after that year, I was thinking about like, hey, do I need to be at a new program? But then I really thought to myself, like, I feel like I don't have enough film to go to a spot I would enjoy and like. So then I grinded all winter, summer, and had a pretty decent year last year. And obviously the record was not how we wanted it to go. But after that, I knew I had 1 year left, and being a part of a rebuild year, I thought would have been difficult. So I decided to enter the transfer portal, and I mean, God is just a blessing, and he brought me here, and it's the best decision I've made for sure.
Now, did a girl have anything to do with it either?
No, she didn't. I was actually.
I was just wondering. You never know.
Yeah, no, it's funny you ask that because it's honestly the opposite. Because what happened is my season ended before her season. I entered the transfer portal. I was committed here before her season even ended because they were going through the tournament with volleyball, and then after her season ended. Like she was planning on staying at Purdue for her 6th year, and then a couple of her like really good teammates ended up transferring out, and she thought that like Purdue might possibly be like a rebuild year as well for their volleyball team, so she wanted to find another spot, and it worked out that Minnesota was her best option. So a lot of people thought that she like was following me, but it was honestly it was God again, and just bringing her to the Twin Cities. So it's crazy how it worked out, and I'm glad it worked out like that. But it's truly a blessing.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean I do think you're right. I think most people figure one or the other decided to come here and the other followed, but it was two independent decisions then, it kind of sounds like, and it worked out perfectly. Lourdes Myers, by the way, is the Gopher we're talking about. And Purdue was pretty good in volleyball. She was all Big Ten, and the Gophers have won 12 straight, right? As we speak, they play tonight. This is a Wednesday, the first day of October, so they play at Michigan tonight. So are you guys enjoying yourselves here in the Twin Cities?
Yeah, we love it.
As Gophers?
There's definitely a lot more you can do in Minneapolis than you could do in West Lafayette. So we both love it. It's been amazing so far.
You mentioned 6th year, so you both are Purdue degree holders, right? So I asked Max this last year too, in terms of with the new portal, a lot of guys, like even basketball last year, we had a couple of guys come back, and I'm like, now are they going to go to their other schools alumni day too? So are you guys still like proud Purdue alums? Will you go back and visit? I'm sure you've got teammates who will be friends for life. And now, how do you mix the maroon and gold into the black and gold here?
Yeah, no, that is definitely tough. But I know I've only been here for, I think, 9 or 10 months now, but I feel like I've been here for like 3 to 4 years. So obviously I graduated from Purdue. I've got a lot of respect for Purdue. But at the end of the day, I feel like I'm a Minnesota alum at this point.
Yeah, that's awesome. And are you able now in year 6 here, I suppose there's a couple of different tracks, and if you don't feel like you want to talk about it, you don't have to, but are you on the track where you're trying to get an advanced degree, or you're on the track where, hey, I'm playing football, I'm going to take some classes here and concentrate on the football season?
Yeah, I was actually working on my MBA at Purdue. Credit-wise, didn't really work out. Transferring them, or the credits ended up transferring here, but the MBA didn't really work out here just because of our schedule. And I'm honestly glad that worked out because I'm doing a master's in sports management right now, and it's honestly probably the first time I've actually enjoyed my classes because I graduated with financial counseling and planning at Purdue, and I mean the classes were somewhat interesting, but I feel like whatever it is. If the NFL doesn't work out, I have to do something related around sports. And the class I'm in right now and the ones I was in the spring and summer I've really enjoyed.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm working on the master's in sports management, and I love it so far.
It's a small world always in college athletics. So like Braden Smith, the Purdue All Big Ten Player of the Year, are you buddies with him?
I'm not. No,
you're not. I was going to say, can you have him take it easy on the Gophers here this winter? I know I think we play a home and home. I can't remember exactly. I was looking at the schedule today, but he's a good player. And Purdue, man, that place gets loud in there, Mackey Arena. I think that's the loudest place we go in the Big Ten.
Yeah, no,
pretty loud.
It's extremely loud.
Crazy
for
loud.
sure. Yeah.
So let me ask you this, Jameson, in terms of transfer portal, you've been here your whole career, and now all of a sudden new guys start coming in, right? And you want playing time, and Drew wants playing time, and Pierce Walsh wants playing time, and Frank Bierman wants playing time. Take me through how the tight end room handles all of that in terms of new guy coming in, guys that have been here a while want to play. You got a quarterback who wants to throw it to the tight end. So how's the tight end room handle everything like that?
Man, it's really cool, like what the culture and the standard has been like the past 5 seasons for me. Like, I really feel like we have such a selfless room, and guys just want to see each other succeed, and like we just build off of each other, and we hold each other accountable, but on game day, like we're so ready to go watch each other play our best, and go watch all of our guys just go make plays, and we just have a lot of guys who are just bought in. Our whole room is just unbelievable. Like we hang out all the time. We go to Culver's every now and then, and we'll go grill some steaks together and watch some games. It's really cool. It's definitely a brotherhood. But like I feel like that's really how it's always been. Just being a tight end here, and it doesn't really matter if you're a tight end or not. Like we all hang out as a team, and we're really connected that way, and we take pride in that. And it makes it a lot easier. You have a lot of trust and confidence in the guy next to you when you go out there, and so it's been a blessing to be a part of it. I'm just taking it day by day, living the moment right now, because the hourglass is going to be empty soon. Yeah. So it's been a ton of fun. It makes the experience, makes the hard days worth it, honestly. So it's been a lot of fun.
Drew, you were talking about that you feel like you're a Gopher now, that this is your spot. Take me through back when you entered the portal, Minnesota ends up being the place. How apprehensive were you coming in, just in terms of, hey, are these guys going to welcome me? How's it going to be? And how has it turned out? Has it been everything you'd hoped at this point in terms of the guys that you've kind of inherited as friends here, so to speak?
Yeah, those thoughts were definitely going through my head, because just being at a program for 4 years, I was really close with all my teammates there, and then coming to a new program, it's like everybody's new, and I almost felt like when I first got here, I was almost like a freshman, but like Jameson, Frank, Pierce, all the tight ends brought me in right away, which definitely helped out, and they're all extremely close, and I was like, how am I supposed to fit in with these guys, because they're all so close, but they brought me in with big arms, and we just, every single day, I feel like I'm getting closer and closer with them. Going off what Jameson said, like we all hang out. Right, tonight we're actually going to Culver's, so it's actually funny. But I don't really know how to put it in too many other words, but I feel so close to them. It's almost like I've been here for like 4 to 5 years, and I've been friends with them for so long. So it feels amazing.
Eric Kaler, your position coach, tight end, he was on the podcast in the summer, and I had watched him coach and had talked to him briefly in the hallways and stuff. But we got to, you really get to dive in when you sit around for a while, and then I think even after the podcast, we sat here for another 40 minutes talking, because he was a college coach, head coach at the school that's my college's big rival. So we had a lot of names that we knew, and it was fun. And I just like, man, this guy seems to be a rock star to me, and it looks like he is, and he's doing great. It looks like on the recruiting trail and everything else. How do you guys like playing for Eric Kaler?
I love it. Yeah, I mean, I think I've had 4 or 5 different tight end coaches,
right?
And I'm really proud of Coach Kaler and what he's brought to the program. He brings so much experience and knowledge on and off the field. Like, we talk, sometimes I'll go in his office and, we'll have conversations about anything but football. And, he gives us just great life lessons that we can take with us and share with other people. But, yeah, it's awesome to have him as a coach. And I kind of just a sponge around him, kind of take everything, all of his coaching points, and implement it into my game the best I can. But he loves developing tight ends, and he loves going out to practice and demanding and coaching us, and he does a great job. And a lot of a lot of the other position groups think so as well. Like, he spends a lot of time with some of the quarterbacks, just being a coordinator for 20 plus years. So, he has a lot of experience around the game, and it's really cool for him to bring that knowledge into the tight end room. And, with guys like me who are going into their last year, and, guys like Julian and Jacob who are, getting their feet wet and going out there and playing, and just gaining experience. And, to be coached by him is it's big time for them.
Yeah, Drew, what have you liked about that in your year here so far?
Yeah, the standard is a standard, and he definitely lives by that. It doesn't matter if it's Jacob Simpson, younger tight end, messing something up, or it's Jameson Geers messing something up. Like, he's going to be on it. He's going to coach you really well, and he's going to fix it. But personally, I feel like I've taken a really big jump from just even being here since January. I felt that, like, my tight end skills, like even just my blocking, my route running, he does a really good job inside of the tight end room of teaching us, and then going out on the field really coaching us well. But yeah, he's an amazing guy outside of football as well, and I feel like I've learned a lot of stuff, not just like football based, but like life lessons. But yeah, I'm extremely blessed to have him as a tight end coach for my final year.
I think he's a Lafayette guy too. Have you guys discussed the West Lafayette and Lafayette area at all?
Yeah, when he first called me, I was like, do you even know where West Lafayette is? And he was like, yeah, like I'm right around that area.
Yeah.
Or like I'm from right around that area. But yeah, we've talked about it a couple of times. But yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you're Milwaukee area, Cedarburg. Are you a Packers fan?
Correct.
Bucks?
Yep.
Badgers?
No.
Growing up?
Yeah.
Maybe? Yeah. I figured. I mean, how couldn't you be? Who else? Who am I missing? Brewers.
Brewers,
they're
yeah.
in the playoffs.
Yeah, they're
too.
doing really well.
And you said you were potentially a college basketball player. That was your first commit was to play basketball. So do you follow the Wisconsin sports scene quite closely still, or are you so busy here trying to win Big Ten football games that you kind of lose track of it a little bit?
No, I definitely still watch the Packers and the Bucks and the Brewers. Yeah,
you're a Bears guy probably.
Yeah,
Chicago, Mr. Chicago.
But in
here.
our training room, we have a TV on, and when the Packers are playing, I'm obviously watching. And usually on Sundays, I'll either wear like a Packers shirt or a Packers sweatshirt.
Yeah.
So I love the Packers.
Well, you just missed out on Dragan, right? Dragan was the kicker here, and he was from Milwaukee, and he made it known. Big Bucks guy, big Bucks guy.
Oh yeah.
But have you met Dragan at all?
I have. He's from Oak Creek, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've met him.
Yeah. Good dude. But you guys will have to touch base on that. So you're a Bears guy. You're a Packers guy. Are the Bears? They've won 2 now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think of the Bears?
I think they look good.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like they're headed in the right direction.
In the right direction.
I think they got lucky in Game 4, though.
I don't know.
Who they beat in Game 4?
Raiders.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
It was a
right.
block hit.
They did get a little lucky there. Got to have some luck sometimes, though. You got to have some luck sometimes. All right, guys. Well, hey, I'll let you guys go. We went. I went a little longer, but you guys are so good. We wanted to get all the info out. So I haven't even asked you. I can't let you go without asking you about this weekend. Buckeyes, they're ranked 1. It's a Big Ten game at night for them. It's like the first Big Ten night game on their campus because
3 years.
in 3 years, because I think Fox Sports always puts them on the noon game or CBS puts them on the 2:30 game. So I lied just for a second. I'm not letting you go yet. We got to talk about this game. So how eager, how anxious, how excited are you to go take on the defending national champion and try to go in there and shock everybody?
Yeah, we're all really excited. Obviously, one of the best defenses in the country. They've earned that. They earned that number 1 spot in the country, and it's definitely going to be a challenge. And it's going to test us, and we have to prepare for the environment as best we can. And we have to, there's no room for any mistakes, and there's little room for self-inflicted wounds, and I feel like we're really just preparing to use our technique and fundamentals against the best in the country, and I feel like we all have confidence in each other that we're going to prepare this week to go play the number 1 team in the country, and so I know a lot of the guys are are excited to go out there. And yeah, I think it's been cool to watch the past couple days and see guys prepare for that.
You were in that game 2 years ago?
Yeah.
2 years ago, where it was tight at halftime, and then they had a couple big plays, just a gap that all of a sudden wasn't filled, and it's like an 80-yard touchdown to start the third, and then as they can do sometimes, a couple of touchdowns. So is that what you're talking about in terms of, hey, I mean, you're in it at half. I mean, if you're in it at half Saturday night, you're going to feel good, and then you just got to go out and keep doing it, right? Keep in it, and then make some plays to win it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like just the way the Big Ten goes, like, there's playmakers everywhere on both sides of the ball, on all the teams. So, just being able to do your role the best of your ability and play your best football on Saturdays is going to be really important, because there's going to be a give and take. They have some great personnel, and so we're going to have to play the full 60 minutes, that's for sure. And we have a lot of confidence in our guys to go make plays on offense. So. Yeah,
exactly. Drew, how about you? How excited are you to get a shot to be on the national stage with your teammates and have a chance to to make something happen?
Yeah, I'm really excited to go play the number one team in the country on Saturday night, and it's one of those things where it's like not everybody can play the number one team in the country, so that's why you come to a program like Minnesota that's able to play the number one team like Ohio State. But none of us are nervous. We're just ready to go out there on Saturday. We're going to prepare until 6:30 Central Time on Saturday, and we're just going to go out there and do what we can do and be very technically sound. And at the end of 60 minutes or 3.5 hours, if we play better than them, then we're going to look up at the scoreboard and we're going to be proud of our team, and it's going to be a great feeling.
Yeah, it'd be a heck of a celebration. That'd be a great crowd surf right there after the game. Well, let's do it. Sounds good, guys. It was fun having you guys back on, and appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for having us.
It's episode 190. Jameson Geers and Drew Biber.
My thanks to Jameson Geers and Drew Biber for joining me this week on the Go Gopher Podcast. What a fun conversation. I hope you enjoyed listening to that as much as I enjoyed being a part of it. Episode 190 is presented by Sunbelt Business Advisors and True North Mergers and Acquisitions. If you're buying or selling a business, visit sunbeltminnesota.com or tnma.com. Cub is a proud supporter of Gopher Athletics for over 20 years and a proud sponsor of the Go Gopher Podcast with Mike Grimm. Cub, bigger savings on the items you love. Shop happy. OnX Fish also sponsors our show, Happy Fishing from OnX Maps. Again, I'd invite you to listen to past podcasts, and please right now click that subscribe button to the Go Gopher Podcast with Mike Grimm. It's absolutely free to listen and free to subscribe. And please share the link to the podcast with others so they can subscribe and listen as well. And if you enjoyed the podcast, please let us know with some positive feedback on your social media channels. We'll talk again next week.
Know what happy is? Veggies. Crunchy, crispy, colorful, seasonal, aromatic, juicy veggies. Produce at its freshest. Cub produce. Best produce, period. Guaranteed to make you happy or will replace it. No questions asked. Because good produce makes veggie lovers happy. Just remember, fresh, happy. Stale, limp, and wilted, not happy. You want to make a veggie lover happy? Shop Cub for produce. And shop happy.